Well, I'll share an anecdote that I don't often share, only because I'm remembering it and you're creating the space. Uh, I've done a lot in my life. I've trained hostage negotiators. I was part of the O.J. Simpson criminal trial. I was an advisor to the prosecution. I've spoken in Moscow, been a headliner along with a Nobel Prize winner named Daniel Kahneman, Thinking Fast and Slow. So, I've accomplished a lot, but I'm going to tell you the most powerful moment of my entire life. And the most powerful moment was when I was telling my father I was dropping out. And I remember I had to tell him because there was a certain window in which you could get your tuition back. And I remember I met with him. And again, everybody was kind of intimidated by him in his company, even the CEO, because he was the guy who had the nerve to fire people. And he wasn't, I don't think he was brutal, but he was pretty direct, and he'd just tell you, why you're fired. And so he was like that as a dad. And I remember meeting with him, and I'm sitting across from him, and he kind of looks at me like, what's this about? And I said, I'm leaving medical school. And he said, what'd you flunk out? I said, no, I'm not flunking. He said, well, I don't get it. And then I shared, that I was feeling down and whatever. And he didn't hear that. And that I was, trying to hold on to information I couldn't. He still didn't get it. And there was a point at which he said, look, you're not flunking. We'll find a tutor. It seems like a waste. And I remember he came on so strong that I looked down, and I remember him talking to me. And I don't remember the exact words, but I had this feeling, if I go back, something bad's going to happen. And I've never been destructive to another person. And there was a point, he's talking, and then he reaches a point where he said, so we're agreed you're not going to drop out. You're going to go back, you'll get a tutor and whatever. And so I don't know if you can imagine this, but try to. So here's the person who is, in retrospect, I realized he wanted the best for us, but he was tough. And he could look at you with a kind of, at times, if he didn't like something, he'd look at you with disgust. It's not an unusual dad. Believe me, as a psychiatrist, there were many worse dads I'd come into seeing patients. So I remember, I'm just thinking, I can't go back. And then I lifted my eyes up and I looked into his eyes like I'm looking into yours. And I said, you don't seem to understand. I'm afraid. Very concise. I just stared at him. I held on to his eyes and the tears just came down my cheeks and I just stared him down. He didn't say anything because I was just looking into his eyes. And then he looked down, clenched his fist and said, do what you need to do. We'll try and support you. That was the most powerful moment of my life. But can you understand why? And so if you're listening to this, now I took a chance. He could have said, stop being weak. It could have been like General Patton slapping me, man up. But I will tell you, if you're listening into this, if you're just honest and you just are raw like that, and you don't even know why you're afraid or you're hurt, and you just look into the eyes of your mom or dad and you just let the hurt show and you let the tears flow because it is the most honest you've ever been in your life, it's the most powerful moment in your life. And I think what happened is our relationship turned a corner because I don't think he really ever backed down from almost anyone. But that's the power of true, raw vulnerability.